guys, it's Grace. What is better on game day than a big pot of chili? Or better yet, what's better than chili on a cold winter night that you can save leftovers for all week? I love this white bean chicken chili recipe. It's a little bit lighter than your classic chili. Instead of, big tomato chunks and beef, etc. It's nice and light with tender chicken. It has a little bit of lime juice, some green chilies. It's just so yummy. And it all starts with a Dutch oven or a big pot, or really anything that can hold a lot of soup for a long time. I love my Dutch oven. The reason why Dutch ovens are so good for soup is that they're really, really heavy. So if you were to feel this pot top here, it's quite heavy, and the bottom is even heavier. And basically that allows the soup to heat evenly. And when you cook soup for a long time, it heats evenly and the chicken gets nice and tender. If you don't have a pot like this, you can just use a big soup pot. You can use a crock pot, whatever you have. So it all starts with this guy. We're gonna open him up and we're going to add in just a little bit of olive oil just to coat the bottom of the pan. And then I have here some garlic, and I have some yellow onion, a small yellow onion just chopped up. And over medium-low heat, you're just going to cook this off a bit, saute it for about 2 to 3 minutes just to get the rawness out. And that will be our base for our chili. There's nothing better than the smell of onion and garlic cooking, that's for sure. And next up is our green chilies. I have some diced green chilies that were canned. They're mild. You don't want the really, really spicy ones unless you want to knock your socks off. These are a little bit sweet, they're a little bit smoky, tangy, and they'll provide the perfect base for this chicken chili. Keep it over medium-low heat. And then I have our spices here. And basically I have some chili powder and some smoked paprika, and then also just a little bit of cayenne pepper. You can leave the cayenne out if you're not, a heat fan. I like just a little bit of kick, so I just added a little bit. The smoked paprika obviously gives it a nice smokiness, and the chili powder brings that chili taste into the chili. And then I have some sweet corn here. I actually am using frozen corn because corn is not really available around here fresh this time of year, so just the frozen stuff is not a problem. Mix that right in. And then I have some lime juice. So I have a half a lime here, and I'm just going to juice it. Oh, I just juiced myself. Taking a nice lime shower here. Look at this. And then I'm going to add in some cannellini beans, and that's just gonna add a nice creaminess. So we added that lime for some freshness. And then of course, in our white bean chicken chili, we want beans. So we're gonna add quite a bit of cannellini beans. And if you don't have cannellini beans, or if you don't want to use cannellini beans, you can also use chickpeas, or you can do a 50-50 blend. That'll be nice in this too. And then we have some low sodium chicken broth here. We're gonna add about 4 cups. Now I like low sodium chicken broth just because I find that regular chicken broth is like way too salty, but you can use the regular stuff too. And in that case, you might wanna add just like a pinch more of salt just to kind of control your own salt. The final ingredient here before the chicken, which is our all-star ingredient, is our masa flour. So you don't need to use this if you don't want to, but I love masa flour. I keep it on hand in my pantry. It's only a few dollars for a giant thing of masa flour. And this is the stuff that makes corn tortillas, actually. And it also thickens your chili. So I'm just going to add about 1/3 cup of water to a few tablespoons of masa flour. And I'm just gonna give that a nice stir so it creates like a watery paste. So look at that. It's nice and kind of watery, pasty, and this is going to thicken our chili. So we're gonna drop that right in to our mixture here, to our soup. And we're gonna give it a big stir, and you can see that this chicken stock is not so thin anymore. It's nice and luxurious and creamy. And this is basically our soup right here without our chicken. So the final step is I'm going to sear some chicken thighs, and then I'm going to pop them right in here before we get this slow cooking for about an hour and a half. I'm gonna go grab the chicken. My chicken thighs are ready. All I did was I seared each side of these boneless, skinless chicken thighs for about 3 minutes on each side. And just to get kind of like a nice brown, I'm just gonna pop all of these right into our soup. And once you have all of your chicken thighs in your soup, just make sure that they're pushed down, and that way they're gonna get slow simmered and soft and pull apart after about an hour and a half of cooking. So I'm gonna close this up, set the timer for an hour and a half, and we'll check back then. Our chili is done chilling for an hour and a half. Haha, bad joke. It's been simmering for about an hour and a half on low, and look at this cauldron. Man, oh man. Can't wait to give this a try. But before I do, I need to shred our chicken. So I'm gonna pull out our chicken thighs. I'm gonna pull out all of them. And then we're just gonna use our knife and fork to shred every piece of chicken. So I'm going to move my chicken to the side here, and I'm just gonna go at this one by one. I just take my knife and fork. You just need to pull it apart. I mean, look at how tender this is from slow cooking for an hour and a half. So you don't need to do a ton of pulling. It's not a ton of muscle here needed. So I'm just gonna do this for all of our pieces. I added my shredded chicken back into our soup and giving it a nice stir, since I haven't stirred it all the time that it was cooking on the stove. And it's time to try. I have my little soup tasting bowl because it's not quite dinner time, and my fiance Eric will get mad if I eat dinner without him. So, especially this. I'm gonna put a little bit of soup in here, and then you can put some avocado on the top, scallions, cilantro, whatever you want. I like homemade tortilla crisps. They're like little tortilla chips. All I did was I bought some corn tortillas in the grocery store, sliced them up, and put them in the oven at 375 for about 10 minutes, and they crisp up, and they're perfect on this soup. Oh, and they absorb the soup too. Get a little bit soft. I love it. It's everything that chili should be. Just a little bit lighter. You can taste the lime come through. The masa flour thickens the soup just perfectly. It's not too thick. It is so good. Check it out on tastefullygrace.com. You won't regret it.